Okay, so financial planning is a very huge topic. We have been talking about various aspects of financial planning. We have actually talked about insurance. We have also talked about annuities. We have also talked about the nitty-gritties of financial planning, setting investment objectives, so on and so forth. So for this time now, we want to do something different. We'll talk about financial mindset. Financial mindset. So really, the way we think differently will reap different results. So I think this is quite obvious. So I just want to give some examples, delving deeper into this topic, or what are some of the probably leading financial mindset you may want to have. And of course, we are going to have a game, the Cashflow game by Robert Kiyosaki. This is where Janelle will talk a bit more, okay, and how you can inculcate probably more successful financial mindset or better financial mindset. Okay, so of course, today we have Janelle with me in the house. So in fact, Janelle is my financial planning partner. She's the expert in this area. I'll definitely pass the stage to her later, and she can introduce herself a bit more. Okay, standard disclaimer, make money, be happy, lose money, don't scold me. Now, maybe we have a little bit of interaction. Do you dare to stand at the edge? So if let's say I just ask you to stand at the edge, in this case at the edge of the road, who is okay, who is courageous enough to actually stand there? If you're okay, don't mind just saying type of 1. You think that standing at edge is very dangerous, please tell me type of 0. Okay, so the question here is this: do you dare to stand at the edge? In this case, on the road. So 1 is yes, I'm okay, I dare. 0 is no, I don't dare. Okay. Okay, mostly 1. Not sure why the rest 0. So okay, mostly 1. Got few 0. I'm not too sure why. Now, but if let's say we just make a comparison, still at the edge, but in this case, we stand at edge whereby, this is the edge of the building, and of course, one misstep, you will actually fall from a great height. In this case, if you still dare to stand at the edge, don't mind just tell me type of 1. And of course, if things has changed, please tell me type of 0. Then no longer I dare to stand at the edge. Okay, so yep, I think it's quite obvious. So what actually has changed? The question here is this: both are standing at the edge. So what has changed? So basically, if you really go and think in deeper, when we were at the road, our focus is where? Our focus is just at the edge. Okay, and of course, with that, we have no problem. We have no problem doing. There's no fear. We can carry on happily ever after. But down here, this picture whereby we are standing at the edge of building, where's our focus? Our focus is actually at, the bottom, or either that the heights. Okay, both at the edge, right? But in this case, we are not focusing on the edge anymore, but we're actually focusing on the height, on the fall. Focus anything else but the edge. Then of course, that result in different feeling. There's a fear, and probably a lot of us won't dare to do it. Okay, so here's the thing. It's like, different thing you focus will reap different outcome. And of course, in terms of financial, in terms of investment, are you focusing on, things that is helping you? Okay, I wouldn't say what is right and wrong. Okay, I don't think there's this thing called right or wrong. But are you focusing on the things that is beneficial to you? So let me just give you some examples in my case. And to me, like I said, no right or wrong, but because I have changed this focus, or more, what I call it, more focused in the focus. Okay, can't think of a better word. I believe my investment is better. Okay, better may not be in terms of more returns, okay, but better in terms of at least meeting my expectations. Okay, meeting what my objective is. Okay, so to me, investment is not always just about maximizing returns, more and more money. No, okay, but what do you expect and what do you achieve? So actually, by having the correct mindset, or the mindset that's helpful, so I believe it has helped me to achieve my objective. So maybe just go through. So number 1, in terms of investment, generically speaking, Initially, I actually invest in an opportunistic manner lah. Okay, people say stocks is good, I invest in stocks. People say property is good, I invest in property. People say invest in crypto, I go invest in crypto. Basically, chasing lah. Okay, chasing the latest. Okay, the latest, like for example, oh, now China market is coming out, I'll go and chase, you know. Then what US market coming out, go and chase. Yeah, things like that. So used to be, of course, used to be. And I've changed that focus from being opportunistic to like running a business. Okay, so to me, it's like I'm actually running a business. One best example is my option investing. So I talk about options quite a bit. So for those who are not familiar, still not familiar, not to worry. I'll talk about options in a subsequent month. So basically, for options, I just deal with put options. Okay, selling puts. So to me, I don't see myself as trading options. I see myself as selling insurance. Okay, how put option work here is this. There's a strike price, okay, which is usually slightly below the market price. If the price fall below the strike price, okay, I need to buy the shares. That means I'm basically giving the owner of the share some insurance for the price. Okay, if the price remain above the strike price, of course, I just keep the premium. So to me, the way I see, I'm not trading options. I am actually selling insurance. Because I changed that perspective, right? Then the way I look at options very differently. The way I actually focus also a lot more on risk. Okay, so same, in the past, I was actually very focused on gaining capital way back when I was younger, buy low, sell high, buy low, sell opportunistic. Then, of course, eventually I changed to very focus on passive income. I'm actually buying assets to build passive income. Okay, so of course, that with that more clarity, my focus, of course, things get better in my definition. So this is what I mean by having the mindset that is helpful to you. So the question here is this: is your investment mindset, financial mindset, in your favor? So I just want to give more example, like investment objective. So very similar to what was shared earlier. In the past, I changed my focus from maximizing returns to what is enough. Okay, to what is enough. Okay, of course, some people can see this as a double-edged sword. In terms of I don't dare to take a lot of risk. And probably because of that, maybe I cannot strike rich with investing. So I seldom have like 100%, 200%, 1000% return. No, I seldom have that. Okay, so one of the reasons is actually because I don't have that mindset. I don't have the mindset of maximizing returns. But with this mindset, I am very focused on generating passive income and very focused on what is enough. And in my dictionary, and I think that is successful. Okay, so is this helpful to you or not? To which is own. People can say that, hey, try me, and you're also not making enough money from investment. Why do you call yourself successful? Okay, to which is own. Okay, but what I'm saying here is this, you must have the right mindset, to achieve the outcome that you want. Okay, hopefully that is clear. So again, I just want to give more examples. Hopefully, some of these examples can, associate with you. So I talk about this, change my focus from capital gain to passive income. Again, this more clarity, because I have more clarity, and of course things become better. Okay. Then in fact, now I am actually more focused on risk rather than returns. I'm actually focused more on risk rather than returns. In fact, I now have this mantra, take care of the risk, the return will actually take care of it himself. So same thing is in line. Because I've actually changed my focus. Yep, my returns may not be exceptional. Okay, very seldom you see me having 1000% return. But net portfolio wise, you also don't see me suddenly go bankrupt. Okay. Okay, so this is actually quite interesting. About loans, this is actually something quite significant to me, lah. Okay, I came from a very conservative family. My mom and dad held their job over the past 30 years. I think my mom only got 2 jobs, and my dad only got 2 jobs, that kind. Okay, and my dad is the one that cannot borrow money one. So the way he buy car here is this, during his era, buying car is also not cheap. So what he did is this, every year save a bit of money, every year save a bit of money, then one fine day take the money, go and buy car without loan. So for the past 15, 20 years, we don't have car. Then suddenly we have a car without loan, fully paid car. Okay, so this is this is my dad's thinking now, not into loans. Of course, initially it was actually ingrained in the children, which is me. It's like, oh, okay, cannot take loan one. Once you have loan, the idea is try to repay as much as possible. So of course, thing has changed. When I was staying in a smaller apartment, it's like, hey, I'm not maximizing. So somehow I was able to convince myself to change. Why don't I just focus from how much I owe to what is my monthly payment? Okay, like for example, instead of keep telling myself, oh, I owe the bank 1 million, I owe the bank 1 million, I owe the bank 1 million. Okay, I just focus on, okay, every month I just need to pay $4,000 for the mortgage. Can I actually afford to pay? Okay, so with that, when I have comfort that actually this 4,000, I have this reserve quite comfortable. Okay, I was actually able to take more interesting investment opportunity, which basically, like for example, upgrade into a bigger property lah. So same thing for property. In the past, I always believed that property is for own stay. If I want to invest in property, I have to have a second property. So of course, one fine day, I was actually able to change that focus. It's like, hey, for own stay one is also for investment. So yeah, basically in line what I said just now, from one property, own stay, I actually upgraded to a bigger property, which I actually don't need. And really the sole purpose is investment. And of course, because of that, I was able to generate a little bit extra income. Okay, so I've actually quoted a few examples. Hopefully, at least one of them resonate with you. The main point I want to put across here is this: the financial mindset is actually very important. In fact, sometimes it propels you to achieve your goal better. Sometimes you hold back. If I do have mindset that actually hold me back, like for example, this one, I'm actually not focused on maximizing return. But I'm focusing on what is enough. So probably because of this mindset, you don't see me suddenly become a millionaire from investment. But to me, it's okay because I actually cherish that stability. Okay, I don't want to every night cannot sleep because of volatility. Okay. I know that I wouldn't suddenly 100% of my investment all gone. Okay, and I know that I have passive income coming in. So to each his own, but maybe one day, if let's say I've so decided I want to be very rich, I need to change this mindset. I need to change this mindset. Then of course, maybe I can become more successful. Or either that, maybe I lose everything. Okay. But my point here is this, to have the desired outcome, the mindset must be correct, Okay, yep, I think there's some questions coming in. We can actually deal with the questions at the end of the session. So I just really want to introduce to you the importance of having the right financial mindset to achieve the outcome you want. You cannot say that, oh, I want to be very risk adverse. And at the same time, or I want to maximize my return. So sometimes if you have conflicting mindset, then that's a problem. Very hard for to achieve.
Okay, so cash flow is a board game, and I'll give you a bit more details as to what it is, and how we can use it to grow our financial habits. Okay, so how many of us grew up, having heard our parents tell us, oh, be a doctor, be a dentist, be a lawyer, be an accountant, be an engineer. And you may also have heard If you don't study, then you become road sweeper. How many of us have heard that before growing up? I definitely have. And actually, a lot of that thinking behind it is because in our parents' generation, it's not easy to earn a living, right? So being able to be in a profession, a professional role, like being a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, an engineer, is associated with, therefore, having a higher earning power. So we associate our profession with what we earn and what we earn with what we have, right? But the truth is, it is what we do with what we earn that determines what we have. Okay, I repeat again. It is what we do with what we have that determines, it is what we do with what we earn that determines what we have. Okay, because it is not true that just because you're a higher income earner that you have more wealth. In fact, you expect that a banker would be very rich or that a doctor will be so well to do. But you also may know that higher income earners are also bigger spenders. So sometimes because we have more ability to earn, we trust in our ability to earn, and therefore we make higher commitments. We take greater risks. And so we don't necessarily have more. Have in the sense that being able to wealth is not how much we have or how much we earn. Wealth is how much we keep. Wealth is not how much you earn, how much you make, or how much you have in that way, but it's how much you keep. Okay, so Robert Kiyosaki, many of you may have heard this name. The board game Cashflow is actually something that was designed by his company to basically teach people the power of investing and how investing can help us leverage to move from just earning monies using our own time and effort to basically investing and therefore earning passively, meaning to say you don't have to be actively at work to earn the income. So when people say, the rich get richer, what they really mean oftentimes is that the rich have more money. So because they have more money, they can do more things. Therefore, very naturally, they become richer. Lor. But I want to bring to your attention, could it be that they just know how to recognize opportunities better? Could it be that they are able to recognize opportunities better? So sometimes having more doesn't mean that we know how to seize opportunities. It's being trained to identify opportunities and then taking action on those opportunities that is going to make a difference to our financial standing. So Robert Kiyosaki, this man, familiar face. If you don't know his name, it's Robert Kiyosaki. He has this saying that the rich does not work for money. Then what do the rich work for? They work for cash flowing assets. That's why the board game is called Cash Flow. How do you create cash flow? So, a major component of this game is really looking at our financial statement. All of us, whether we keep good accounts of our finances or not, our money in and money out, what is cash generating assets or what are liabilities. There was a time my friends would say, the days before ABSD, there was a time that I was quite into property investing. And, because of multiple properties, friends say, you're very rich. I say, no, I'm not, because they are all liabilities. They are not assets. Until they are fully paid and generating positive income, they are not assets. They are liabilities. And it's back to Imin's story, right? How the dad believes that, we should not have loan. Why? Because the moment you have a loan, it is a negative cash flow. It is not positive, right? So if you want to be rich, you've got to understand numbers. You can't shun away from numbers. You can't look at numbers and suddenly freeze out and say, I don't want to look lah. So long as I spend within my means, can already. Then we are always in survival mode. And that's why a person's financial statement really is their financial health report. And that's one thing we always say. The moment you leave school, really, what is your report card? Your report card is your financial statement. Are you growing in a way that position you for financial security in the future days when you decide to slow down work, or you decide to stop work for a while, or you decide to spend time with loved ones that you think is more important than just working through life? Okay, so the numbers from the income statement, your balance sheet, and your monthly cash flow, basically that tells a story of where your money is flowing. There are three income statements I want to share with you tonight, just to highlight what is the difference between what we call the poor, the middle class, and the rich, according to Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay, so you see in this statement, I don't know if you've been there, but I certainly have been here, especially, as a fresh grad stepping out. Whatever money I earn, I use it to pay my expenses. In fact, actually, before that, I'll give to my parents, right? And then whatever is left, I make sure that they are enough to cover my expenses. I have no assets to talk about, and therefore also no liabilities. Buying a house was not on my mind. To me, it's like, let's keep things simple. So long as I can spend within my means, that's a great start. But, it's very much in that way, quite hand to mouth, much as I may have some savings. So in his teaching, basically the typical income statement of what he calls the poor is cash flow in, cash flow out. No assets, but also no liabilities. Now, the middle class, and we often say the middle class are the hard-pressed ones, right? These are the ones that you take your income, you actually direct it to, you see, very interestingly, it flows into paying off liability first. Because liabilities are obligations. You like it or not, you have to pay it, right? And this could be school loans, it could be your credit card debts, it could be your car loans, and then for the bulk of us, the biggest portion is always mortgage, right? And of course, then there's the day-to-day, and then it pays off. The liability, the loans that we take up actually becomes expenses on our income statement. Okay, so you will see here the assets are empty. Then you will question like, hey, if I have a flat, I have a condo, I have a HDB, shouldn't I list that as asset? So in this case, because the whole point is assets is what is income generating. That's why you see in this income statement, he doesn't show that basically assets is empty. It's blank there. Whereas the rich, now interestingly, now you see the assets are all listed. Your real estate, stocks, bonds, notes, whatever, your intellectual property, your collectibles, we could have all kinds of things, NFTs, and whatever is income generating, that is considered an asset. So in a typical academic, or rather the accounting way, we often set whatever that is of financial value to be classified as an asset. In this case of his teaching, basically assets are only listed if they are income generating, positive income generating. Okay, so the goal of the cash flow game when it was designed is to basically create a simulated environment and therefore a training ground for people to identify opportunities, to train themselves to recognize what is good investment, what is not, and therefore to invest in instruments that are cash flow generating. And that's how people can progress from poor to middle income to being having the rich mindset. Okay, so the cash flow game isn't your average financial literacy game, meaning to say it's not meant to be teach it, teach. Okay, it's really an experiential game, just like you play any board games like Monopoly and all that, right? Except that this time around, the lessons are very targeted. It's around stock investing. So there will be cards about stocks, and then you got to read the context and ask yourself, is this a good stock to invest in or not? Okay, these, if you all have been following Emin for a long while, it would be pretty familiar. Y'all ought to be people who can recognize it very quickly. Now, the second thing is there will be cards also that give you opportunities to buy businesses or invest into businesses. So it is also a business building game, teaching us, and remember, it's about training us to identify opportunities. What is a good business to buy into or what is not? And what is good is if it is income generating. And then lastly, the third investing that is common and is teaching us on that through the board game is really real estate investing. Again, there'll be many cards that talk about different types of real estate and the different types of cash flow, how much deposit you need to put, is there any cash flow out of it, for you to learn if it is a good investment or not. So the whole goal is to challenge your perception of how to generate wealth and how to sustain wealth. Okay, for those of you who have played the game, you would be familiar with this board. This image is actually the board game. For those of you who have not played this game before, well, this is how it looks. Okay, so you will see here that right in the middle, there is a rat, right? Because the whole goal is for us to get out of the rat race. So we start the game by first picking the one of the things on the outer track. The outer track basically will determine what we call like your dream. So you can read through, you'll be given time to read through and identify what you want to create or identify a state dream. And then we will all take turns. We will roll a die. Whoever has the biggest number, we'll begin with that person, go clockwise. And then we will play the inner circle. The inner circle basically is a series of things. You will see keywords like paycheck. That's basically for you to collect your income, just like how you receive your paycheck every month. Every time you cross a paycheck, you say paycheck, and then money will be given to you from the banker. Okay, that adds on into your cash flow, your liquidity. You will see other cards like small deals, big deals. There are cards like do that. Small deals, big deals are basically opportunities. Big, as you say, they require bigger sums of money. Small deals, basically those that require you, that cost you less to get started in the investing. Markets is basically dealing with the stock markets. Do-that's are basically events in life that could happen. For instance, people come up to you with a charity, or somebody gets married. You need to prepare an ang pao, or your car tire burst, and this is an unexpected expense. Do-that's is basically something you have to do when you pick up that car. Okay, so basically, this inner circle is simulating what happens in day-to-day life. Okay, every day we hear of opportunities. Remember, the whole goal is to train us to identify what is good and what is not. Every day, the market is moving. And then, like when Emin said, he used to be very opportunistic, right? Opportunities may arise. But today, if I'm not trying to maximize my return, all I'm looking for is as we go along, let's just, pick things up, build things up. Because ultimately it's about growing cash flow. Ultimately and now he's progressing to options trading, as he's saying, right? So basically this game goes on until there will be a point, of course, because it's a game, we will force shut it at certain timing. And that's when in the way, how I organize the game then is, at midpoint, I will have us stop the game. And then we take a bit of, a few pointers, if people are struggling in the game, and then I'll highlight a few pointers so that everybody can kind of, organize their thoughts a bit. And then we will have part 2. Now, in part 2, this is a time where I'm going to throw in some twists. Remember, this board game is designed by an American for general learning. But in part 2, basically, when I do the facilitation, I'll be tweaking it to our local context and adding our local flavor to this context. Now, at the end of part 2, there will be a time where the game ends. Everybody takes of your net worth according to your income statement. And that's where we're going to go around to share some lessons learned. And whoever is the banker, or I may be appointing bankers, bringing along bankers who can just observe how the table of players go. And that's where we all draw and learn lessons from one another. At the start of the game, you will pick up an occupation card because it is your occupation that gives you your income. Then you see here on the right side, that is the income statement. So that's what you're going to learn to, as a practice in the game. Constantly take stock. And if in real life, you can take stock of this, and to also have your balance sheet of assets and liabilities, you'll find that over time, you have a clearer picture of really what is your financial report card. So we choose our dream. As we go along, roll the die, we will come to a big deal or small deal. And then when we pass paycheck, we will collect our income. And then sometimes we have do-that's that will lead us to have to give to charity. There will be stock market opportunities. We follow market. And then that's how, we go in the inner circle. Now, you only get out to the outer circle when you build enough income generating assets that can pay for your expenses. The moment you build enough income generating assets that can pay for your expenses, you are out of the inner circle towards your dream. That's where financial independence or freedom, on the board game, you would have achieved. So the whole goal of the game is for us to train ourselves to identify opportunities to help us earn additional or passive income. Passive in the sense that you're not actively working for it to cover for your monthly expenses rather than just depending on your active income. In the process of the game, it's very interesting because you'll find that when you make decisions in the game, it is based on your current thinking about how you look at money. So your spending habits will kick in. How your risk appetite will kick in. Just like standing on the edge of the road just now, 0 or 1. Some of us still say that even standing on the edge of the road is a bit scary. But now if you're on a tall building, that's even scarier, right? So how much risk you're willing to take, all of that will start to come up in the game. I've played this game since what 20 I've been facilitating since 2014, 2015. So it's wow, 10 years. So only the COVID years, basically stopped for about 2-3 years. In between, before and since then, actually, we've been coming back to playing this game, and it's very interesting how at every session, no two sessions are the same because different players come to this session with different behaviors, different beliefs, different approaches to looking at opportunities, and also the dynamics of how they play the game one with another. So you see cards like this that will basically signify the common events that happen in our life. And, as you play the game, then, you're kind of going through a bit of a simulation of how life is. Then that's how, at the end of it, you will show you how to basically change your financial habits. Why? At the end of the session, there's actually there are commonly first thing people will realize, oh, I never realized that I was doing this or that I have been doing this. That's often one realization that people walk away with. And then number two, people start to observe how others handle their money. So people are able to then often pinpoint where growth can happen in their life in regard to handling their finances because they learn one from another. And the last part is because of the facilitation at the end when we do some learning points, that's where, sometimes, discussion comes up. Sometimes it's a matter of, hey, I've never thought about that. I like that and I'm going to adopt that. And that's how we all walk out of the game. It's 2 hours in all with the facilitation, everything. It takes 3 hours once we do the debrief. And in that 3 hours, basically, most of the time, 8 out of 10 will walk away with a tangible thing that they can adjust so that their financial standing and the security that they're looking for in terms of building that, growing that wealth, over time becomes a more confident thing for them because they start to see possibilities that they've never seen before. So hopefully, when you do join us for this cash flow game, this is something that, you can uncover and that can help you advance your own financial goals in the new year and beyond. All right. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Janelle. Okay, so we have a very short session today. And of course, the main event is this cash flow game, which is have to be done face to face. Can't really do over webinar. So it's going to happen on 19 October. Of course, it's free, free for members only, free for our own members. And 10 a.m. at Janelle's office in CBD area. So of course, I will send the details to you closer to the date. So we have this game, and to make it more interesting, we are going to have prizes. So winner will get a dinner for two lah. Okay, either you can bring your spouse, bring your boyfriend, girlfriend, or bring your partner, whatever. So dinner for two with myself and Janelle lah. So like I said, yesterday I just had dinner with the property game winner. So same thing. Okay, very similar. We'll play this game, then winner for the game will win a dinner for two. Okay, now here is the thing, because of the limitation of the game board, for every session we can only have 15 packs. Okay, 15 packs. So in the event that just in case we have overwhelming response for the coming session, 19 October, okay, I need to prep your first. So the first 15 that register first will go for the 19th October session. So of course, if let's say there is sufficient demand, then we will organize a subsequent one. So for those who are really keen to attend, I strongly urge you to register early. Okay, it's not that I want to create something very urgent because there's a game board involved. No choice. I have to limit the number of people. So 15 packs. I'm not too sure, how many will come, but yep. Like I said, for the first 15, if let's say we have more than 15, first 15 will go for the 19 October session. Then if there are after that there is enough people, then we will organize the second one. So even the second one I may not be able to confirm. I can only organize when I have about 15 packs. Okay, so long story short, sign up for the event as soon as possible. Especially 19 October. Okay, sign up now. So basically you can either scan on the QR code or either that, click on the link. Maybe I just paste the link onto the chat. Then you can sign up already.